Welcome to another episode of Games Done Slow and Bad. We play games slowly, and most often badly. And I am tremendously excited to bring you a game that I love. Fallout New Vegas. So, as the Securitons roll by. In this playthrough, I'm going to be taking a lot of community feedback to make my decisions. And using that feedback to make the game a little bit more dynamic for you. Especially if this is your first time. You should experience it the way player would. I love that beginning. So what we see here is a couple of quick shadows of some of the major players here, and then flashing to sort of the main plot line.
War never changes.
There we go.
When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults.
So for those of you unfamiliar with the series, this is important.
Set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law.
Really spiffy helmets, too.
So did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mohave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mohave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Oh, such a good beginning. I think every time I roll a new character, I watch this beginning, just because I appreciate it so much. It lacks some of the polish of animation today, but it's just generally so well done. And it gets the tone so well. Alright, so, just a little, I guess, brief synopsis. If you bought some additional DLC for this game, it gave you various themed equipment packs. It's going to add them to my inventory, and the minute I walk out of this first area, remove them. That is completely intentional. In addition to the mods I added for visual effects, which I will annotate at the bottom of this the video description, I have also added a mod that will remove these. So the Caravan Pack, the Mercenary Pack, the Classic Pack, And I believe there's one more. The tribal pack. There we go. All pre-order pack items have been removed. Have fun finding them. They make the game a little bit unbalanced. A little too easy for my taste. I also added more perks because I thought the addition of more of what made this game so fun would be just amazing.
Why don't you just relax a second? Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
So this is a very Elder Scrolls type beginning. You're shot in the head, you wake up in here, and this guy said, hey, you were shot in the head, I patched you back up, but what is your name? So the winning feedback on the various mediums which I was collecting it was to play a female character. So we are going to play Mary of the Mohave.
I can't say it's what I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name.
Oh, Doc Mitchell.
I'm Doc Mitchell. Welcome to Goodsprings. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place.
So this is a nice little touch. So he basically says, hey, you got shot in the face and I stitched you back up plastic surgery-wise as best I could. There is no body modification in this game. So really what you're working with is the head displayed here. So what we're going to do is run our female character. And it's really hard to get this character to look materially different. I am going to play a Caucasian. Race makes absolutely no difference in this game whatsoever. None of the communication options are tied there. So then we're going to just randomize a few times. And we'll stop there. Okay. As you can see, it looks pretty similar. Let's see if I can get a better preset. Oh, too damn similar for my liking. I'm actually going to go with 10. And randomize a few more times. I don't mind that. Okay. Alright, now here's where we get to pick our usual hairstyle. I want something a little bit extreme. Again, this has no effect on the game whatsoever. What do we got? I would like some sort of mohawk. That'll work. Perfect. And let's go heavy on the red. Nice red mohawk. Sweet. Okay, Mary of the Mohave. We're going to play this character. I didn't get feedback on what skill sets to focus on. And honestly, I've never run a character who is shotgun and explosive heavy.
Why don't you walk down to the end of the room, over by that vigor tester machine there. Take it slow now. It ain't a race.
So we are going to focus on creating a character who
Looking good so far. Go ahead and give the vigor tester a try.
who has an interesting set of skills.
Learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
So strength is important to use some of the heavier explosive weapons, so we're going to leave that as is. But I'm not concerned about lockpicking. I'm not going to do the covert thing. Energy weapons I'm not tremendously concerned with, although I do want to keep my explosives. So, you know what, we'll keep that at 5. Endurance, though, I'm going to make it the way I have to deal with. I'm going to have to just deal with low stats there because I have to take it out of somewhere. Charisma, I'm not intending to do a playthrough that's heavily focused on talking my way out of things. So we're going to go heavy in strength. We're going to go up in intelligence. We're going to put 1 more in agility and 2 more in luck. 10, 5, 2, 2, 8, 6, 7. So strength is going to be my ability to handle heavier weapons. Intelligence is my science, repair, medicine. And the reason I think I'm going to need that is I think I'm going to need heavier medicine usage in this run. And also drugs. Just to deal with the fact that shotguns until later in the game are a little sketchy. Alright, Nice trick in this game, or a nice little feature that they added, is when I finalize this,
Surprised anybody'd want to tangle with you.
he has
Heck, you could go
custom
Defcon
dialogue.
hunting with a switch. Well, we know your vitals are good, but that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nutted
So,
in a big...
We got some basic gear. Well, he's
What do you
talking
say
to us.
we
Let's
take a seat in my couch and we go through a couple of questions.
grab some stuff while he's sitting there chatting with us. Oh, I want that anti-venom, thank you. Where is it? Right there. Broken submachine gun. I don't have the skills yet. Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe I need to complete this first. Okay, so we got shot. We made our face. That established our character. And if I zoomed out, which I'm not sure how to do on this controller, you'd see we now are a character. We then came over here and established basic stats. But you're allowed to create your focus sort of tag perks separately. The way the game does this is it administers you a test.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Dog. We can go sort of just blitzing through, but dog, when I think dog, I think feed.
House.
Investment.
Night.
Nightkin? No Nightkin.
Bandit.
Bandit. Let's go with Swiss cheese. Light. Inspiration. Mother. Tantrum.
Okay. Now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say. First one. Conflict.
Conflict just ain't in my nature. No, it's in my nature.
I ain't given to relying on others.
I don't like talking to people.
I'm always fixed.
I want to be a center of attention. Yeah.
I charge in to deal with...
Yep.
Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this?
Alright, what do we say?
Tell me what you see.
I might edit something in to see if I... What do I say? I see ants. So you see like the left ant, sort of like the mandible up top, then a head, then a body, then some larger sort of abdomen area.
Okay. How about this one?
Some sort of tower. Space age technology? That seems like it. I always like this one. I'm too embarrassed to say what it looks like.
Last
Two
one.
guys high-fiving. I don't see any of these things. It's a mushroom cloud now.
Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results.
If you go super
See if
dark,
it all seems right.
he also has some custom dialogue there, but you have to go super dark. Alright, melee weapons, no. Lockpick, no. And unarmed, no. So it really want to make me like a crusader there, which I'm not into this run, although ordinarily super fun way to go about it. We'll take our guns and we'll take our explosives. We'll also take a tag in speech. What, speech? Yeah, speech is just generally all around good. Do you want to do speech? Or do you want to do like repair? Or medicine? Early high medicine would be pretty wonderful. You know what? Repair. I never do repair. And there's some good repair you can get early.
I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out. So
Okay.
I get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
One thing I always thought they lost in this was not putting a line item in here that says family history of being shot in the head, because that would just be fun. Alright. So these are traits, and you can select the traits, and they affect you for the entirety of the game, and they generally have good features and bad features all in one. So, you know, all weapons have 3% chance to critically hit, but your items decay. In this game, that's a problem, because when you get really good items, you can't necessarily fix them without having a high repair skill. Claustrophobia, +1 to special when you're outside, -1 when you're indoors. Ugh. Well, that's a fun RP thing. That's rough. Early Bird is +2 to your special from 6 to 12, and then but 6 to 6 you get -1. That's rough. Fast Shot, 20% more quickly, but 20% less accurate. Perception, I oftentimes will grab this one because you just end up having to get glasses and carry them through the game. It's not a big deal. Good-natured. Okay, so here we go. If you take this good-natured, you're prone to solving problems more than violence. So I would get +5 to barter, medicine, repair, science, and speech, but -5 to all of those weapon skills. Well, I invested in the weapon skills I wanted, and hey, by the way, there's something down here. Skilled. When you're skilled, you get +5 points to every skill right off the bat, but you have to get 10% more experience to level up. I don't find that that's a problem in this game, as there's always something to do. So we're going to run with that. There we go.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
Alright, now there's a ceremony in this game that you need to go through as a first-time player. And that's called Loot Doc Mitchell's House. This guy has some good stuff. So hats are great, because like in other Fallout games, they have a perception bonus. He has all these foot lockers. He's got food, which are, you know, excellent little little tools for healing. He's got ammunition, good ammunition too. Stim packs, empty syringes, things we need for medical crafting, all nice. I just steal this guy out of absolute house and home, and I'm pretty sure that everyone does, because the game flatly allows you to, which leads me to believe that I am allowed to do this because he just doesn't have any attachment to these possessions, or he stole them and, you know, just sort of accepts that you're stealing them back. I like to think the latter. I like to think Doc Mitchell has a horrendously evil side to him.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to me now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. It was my wife's. I think she was about your size, and she hardly wore it after we left the vault. Felt it was too brazen.
Thanks, Doc.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Hardcore mode. Do we want hardcore mode? We're gonna go without hardcore mode. Reason being, I've never played an explosive-based build before, and I'm probably gonna cripple myself very often. So that bloom is off. Alright, here we go. All the DLC announcements. Old World Blues. You've gotten a fragmented signal in your Pip-Boy, a coded transmission of some sort with a sad, jazzy undercurrent that makes your head hurt. As far as you can tell, it appears to be an invitation to the Midnight Science Fiction feature at the Mohave Drive-In. Please arrive early to catch the trailers. Old World Blues has been loaded. Caps up by 5. Your Pip-Boy receives a signal coordinates that lead to the canyon wreckage west of Primm. Following the coordinates are its Courier 6. It's signed Ulysses. Up by 5. Happy Trails Expedition, which is awesomely named. Picked up a radio broadcast. They're looking for one more member for an expedition to Zion Valley. Plus 5. Alright. So let's look at our items, shall we? So this is the menu. It should look pretty similar, as it looks like every Fallout menu. We have our vault suit, we have our hat, we have the items we looted from the house, we have a little bit of junk, and we have some ammo. I picked up a laser pistol, and I picked up a 9mm. Neither of these are what I want to be using, but I have them right now. We also got Nevada Skies weather effects, which will hopefully enhance our experience. Alright, Gunrunner's Arsenal. The ongoing conflict in the Mohave Wasteland has kicked weapon manufacturers into high gear. All major and minor weapons dealers in the region are rolling in new weapons, ammo types, and modifications. So here we go. Remember we referenced the Metal Man earlier?
Howdy, partner.
Here's our Metal Man.
Say you're looking fit as a fiddle.
I've never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
How did you find me?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they'd run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were, so I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Do you know who they were?
I'd say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
How'd you end up here?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any.
I reserve the right to thank you at a later date and time, but for now, goodbye. Alright, so this is Goodsprings, and Goodsprings is an actual geographic location on the map in real life. If you are down in the Nevada, California, Arizona area, you can find it on the map. I don't think there's anything... Oh, Sierra Madre. I don't think there's anything quite worthwhile down there to go look at. Perhaps take a picture with the sign, but otherwise not much there. Oh, I think this is one of the weather effects. Very pretty. Very, very pretty. I have the texture pack on as well, so this is slightly better than it would potentially look otherwise. And yeah, this is Goodsprings. So, Goodsprings consists of a lot of outbuildings. Doc Mitchell's house, an old abandoned gas station. This general store, and the saloon. And we'll go into the saloon next. Ooh, that's rough. I believe your name is Chet.
You must be the one Doc Mitchell was patching up. The way I heard it, I didn't think you'd be walking out of that office.
Office seems strong.
Supplies for sale. Even got some weapon mods and special ammo. Well worth the caps if you ask me. If you're hurting for caps, I've also got boxes of surplus ammo in the miscellaneous section. They're not great, but you get what you pay for.
Okay, so interesting little factoids. I'm not going to ask him about these features. Weapon mods improve or change the way weapons act. Special ammo does generally more damage or has a secondary effect to it. Surplus ammo is garbage ammo that makes your weapon degrade faster. Weapon degradation is a real problem in this game, and you have to carry around more than one weapon. Not because you run out of ammo, but because your weapon will degrade into nothing. Do you know anything about the people who attacked me?
The leader was a New Vegas type. Typical city boy. He had a bunch of Great Khans with him, probably hired guns. The Great Khans normally stay in their own territory way up northwest, on account of them being enemies with the NCR.
Well, that's a lot of good information right there. Have you ever been to New Vegas?
Twice. Both times I drank a lot of liquor and lost most of my caps at the card tables. In that order, now that I think about it. If you ever get to New Vegas, be sure to visit Gomorrah. It's the best casino in the city.
So,
you won't regret it.
Pin that in your head.
Advice: behave. Between the NCR military police,
because Gomorrah is just a horrifically evil place. What about the Great Khans?
Tough sons of bitches. Mean, but not crazy. They'll leave you alone unless you got something they want. The Great Khans deal in illegal chems. There's a good chance that most chems you come across were made by Great Khans.
Let's see what he's at for sale. So, this is the menu. It's pretty similar to menus of other Fallout games. He has some dynamite, which I wouldn't mind. A recharger rifle is actually lovely, but not really what I wanted to be using. Otherwise, he doesn't have any shotguns or anything, which is a bummer. But he does have leather armor, and that's a good early game thing. Always take the cases. They're free. and you can use them later. What was that silencer? Silicone silencers. Oh, alright. Alright, not much to it here. Let's see what we can dump off. So we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this carton of cigarettes, this detergent, these syringes, this medical brace. And just from looting Doc Mitchell's office, we now have good gear. Or better gear, I should say. I wouldn't mind having a better weapon, but such is the way of the world where I'm not going to get one right now. Whoa. Okay. Oh, the sandstorm is actually causing me damage? That's pretty awesome. Or maybe it was the physics. Hi, you. Hi, Easy Pete.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you?
Do you know anything about the people who attacked me?
The one in the fancy suit seemed to be calling the shots. That's as much as I know. Other folks in town might know more.
Okay, fancy suit.
If you ever catch up with him, watch out. Man's
Well, he did shoot me in the head, so yeah, I agree.
can't be trusted, I say.
Alright. Let's start the first part of this mission. Everyone's going to be very well acquainted with
Cheyenne,
this.
stay. Don't worry. She won't bite unless I tell her to.
Doc Mitchell said you could teach me things.
Yeah, I guess there's a thing or two I could show you. Sounds like you need all the help you can get after what they done to you. Meet me outside, behind the saloon.
So I see some textures haven't loaded in. I'd love to say that this is going to be uncommon, but I have a feeling we're going to hit this quite a bit. Oh look, fixing things. Thank you, game. Anything else worth procuring? I'm generally not going to steal a whole bunch of things in this game. There's a handful of things I would ordinarily steal. For instance, this. I didn't want to do that. Oh well, you don't care, do you?
Hey there.
Yeah, no one cares. Oh, this is gonna be brutal. Where are you, Sonny? Oh, this is so brutal.
See the sarsaparilla
Alright, hold on.
bottles on the fence there? Take this and try to hit the cover.
Alright, here we go. Thank you. Take rid of that weather, please. Alright, what do we got? And by the way, I'm playing this on PC, but using an Xbox remote. Nope. Oh, this is so brutal.
That's the right idea. Look down the sight.
To aim, pull, weird block box. This increases your accuracy. Thank you. Come on.
Try crouching down and staying still. It'll help your aim.
Alright, how do I crouch in this? There we go.
Nice shot. Well, that's a start. But I don't reckon you came to me to learn to fight sarsaparilla bottles.
I did
Tell you
not.
what, I gotta go chase the geckos away from our water supply anyway. Darn critters are attracted to it. Why don't you come along?
Sure, why not? I love doing... No,
Suit
absolutely not.
yourself. Hope this helped you. I'm heading back now. Hope I didn't. Hey, do me a favor. Trudy, she's the bartender up at the Prospector. Kind of the town mom. She likes to meet newcomers. She'd be cross with me if I didn't ask you to poke your head in and say hi.
Alright, so ordinarily, 99% of the time when people are playing this game, what they do at this stage is that they run over back in, and it starts a cutscene of Trudy speaking with somebody that starts the next piece of the quest line. I need this weather to stop. Come on. How do I shut this off? This is awful. Yeah, that's cute. So Trudy will be arguing with somebody. They'll have an argument, and that will set off the next piece of the quest. It's interesting because if you are just getting into the game, you probably are just going to run in there because you were just told to. But I find that it's a little bit more fun to go out and explore a scotch before jumping into the next section. Reason being, if you just run in headlong, you're going to miss some options and a crash.
Sarsaparilla bottles on the fence there. Take this and try to hit a couple of them. That's the right idea.
Alright, so New Vegas is pretty much infamous for,
down and staying still. It'll help your aim.
Infamous for crashing.
Nice shot.
And when you mod it,
Well,
you pretty much multiply that by 10. So, we're not going to talk to her again. We're going to try and get back to where we were and see if I can get this to work. Let's also go with a 9. This weather is a bit extreme, I gotta say. I'm thinking this might just be overkill. There's the stop signs, so we definitely want to go over there. By the way, that's certain death. I know it seems kind of weird, but pretty much right outside of the starting area, if you go in the wrong direction, it is well labeled, but it is instantaneous death. You will be ripped apart. 10 out of 10 times. Alright, I think now I'm on the right path to the boneyard. Yep, that's the fence. So here is the area from the start of the game. And there's Victor.
Howdy, partner.
Did you take care of all the bad stuff up here? Alright, you can see we got a itty bitty bit of XP. Oh. And you see next to our grave are distinctive cigarette butts. And we gotta see if there's anything else here, because we are playing a little bit of detective. We're trying to figure out who this guy was who shot us squarely in the head. And no, I think that's it for this section if memory serves. Some tin cans, some bottles. This distinctive water tower right next to the graveyard, which I question if that's a great plan, but that's okay. Interesting part about this game, I found a snow globe. Those will come up. Interesting part of this game, you can dig up burial plots if you have a shovel. So, I'll need a shovel to dig in that plot, but there'll be items in it. It's sort of an interesting little featurette. Let's see if I can play with this again to try and get the weather to calm down. I can't have that this early when we're trying to just walk through and for me to show you the game. Here we go. Okay. I like this angle. It allows me to show Goodsprings pretty well. So, there's the tavern right there. The shop right next to it, and you can see it's a very small little town. Unfortunately, as we'll go over a lot in this game, a lot of the individual houses are boarded up. They're not something you can go into. In the development history of this game, Obsidian did not have the time one would expect to produce a title this large. And because of that, they had to sort of scrimp on the optional things. And the optional things were a lot of the interior zones. Oh, I do love the weather effects. I'm not a fan of the storms, but the weather effects are beautiful. So, where they managed to stick mailboxes in the right places, and there's some fun things we can find in these houses that we'll find here shortly, they did not necessarily put everything up.
Way too many strangers coming into town these days. No offense.
I am a little offended. So let me show you what the typical interior looks like. Interiors are a lot less interesting than Fallout 4 because junk is less pervasive. Junk being less important, they didn't stick as much of it in here. That's a survival magazine, I'll gladly take that. You see this guy has sort of like a farm out front, and inside he's made a little storage area for his farming goods. We just found a star bottle cap. Those will become really important later. Otherwise, I'm just going to steal some bottle caps. And ammo. I will generally steal ammo. 10 out of 10 times. The reason is that ammo in non-hard mode has no weight. And it's sellable, you know, when you get to another town. So it's free money, essentially. I generally don't go through and steal anyone's stuff except maybe Doc Mitchell. But that's my logic there. One could say that I'm not optimizing by, you know, being a little bit even more picky about how I steal things, but, you know, I never said I'm an optimal gamer. Okay, so with that, I do not want to jump into the, tavern yet, because I would like to get a level up for a very particular reason. I will say I'm actually appreciating the weather effects, with the exception of that god-awful sandstorm, because it does add a little bit more of a tonality to it. Alright, we got some, was it Xander root? That's some good stuff. You combine it to make healing powder, which isn't the best healing item in the game, but it's acceptable. It gets the job done. Jalapenos. And here's a little schoolhouse of Goodsprings. And some juniper trees. Alright, VATS. What button is VATS? There we go, VATS. So VATS in this game allows you to target various things, and there's a lot of bonuses for shooting things that make sense. So shooting the antenna will always frenzy a bug. 95% my butt. And you see that little stutter there, that was the gun actually jamming on me. Because the gun is in disrepair. So, again, one of the features I actually really loved in this game that didn't make it into the next iteration is that maintenance aspect. Because the gun over time would wear down. And it actually incentivizes you to learn to use multiple weapons or to keep a backup item on you, because you never know when things are going to really break down on you and it's going to get bad. Alright, so the school is nice because it allows you to accumulate a little bit of experience, get some items that are worth a pretty little penny, and also allows you to hit your first hack terminal. So terminal hacking is the same as in past games, in future games. We got some words and we gotta match them up. So I always look for the INGs or the EDs. RN. Alright, so S's. Yeah, I literally have no idea there. So we're going to play the log in and out of the terminal game. I'm going to speed this up for you because this is embarrassing and annoying. There we go. Good guess. Alright, so here's the trick in a lot of these. Don't disengage the lock. The reason is that you can get a second... Oh, out of 25? Is there a Tumblr's Weekly book around here? That's unfortunate. Alright, well, we'll disengage the lock just to get the freebies inside. But if you successfully hack it... okay. If you successfully hack it and then you log out, you can then pick the lock and get double experience. It's a nice little trick throughout the game just to double down on experience when, you know, there's an opportunity. So let's now go over to Victor's house. And Victor's standing guard out front. We're just going to pass right by him and head into his shack. If memory serves, there's a handful of little nice things in here. A weapon repair kit, that's nice to have. And was that it? Scrap metal, and there might be some, ammunition. There might be some scrap electronics here too. I don't remember. It is cute that he actually has a real house, like these people.
Howdy, partner.
Alright, so before we continue on, I do want to go over and do a few more things, just to grind up a little bit of experience. There's two things I always like to do very early in this game, and one of them is a cave, and one of them is an event that always happens when you go over to the area over that overlook over there. That is kind of fun. And shows why I like this game so much. So let's start by going over to the cave. The cave is protected by coyotes, which are a low-level enemy that I'm not at all concerned about. As such, I'm going to switch over to the laser pistol, which I'm not very good with, because I don't mind burning it out against these low-level enemies. Oh, good shot! Nice! Alright, come at me. Come at me straight. Alright, we're getting stuck in the terrain. Yeah, let all my VATs come back, thank you. Got him! Okay. And was there one more? We'll take your meats, thank you. There's a stutter on my terribly maintained... Oh, there you are. Come back. There we go. We got a nice close-up of our face there, so we can see that despite its age, the visuals are not terrible. And we're going to finish and travel onward. I'm happy with our character. Goodsprings Cave. If you are just sort of running in a straight line out of town, you're going to miss this place. And it's a damn shame because there's something in here that's not bad. One, there's XP. There's a lot of XP. You should go after that XP because how often do you get easy coyote kills for 5 XP a pop? And I am basically as stealthy as a potato, so when I'm getting this done, it basically means that anybody at any skill level could make this happen. Got him. Oh, 2 more? I got 2 more blips. Oh! There we go. I wasted a ton of ammo, but it's okay because I have no intention of doing energy weapons. If this were a normal playthrough, I'd almost certainly use energy weapons, and I'd be sad. that I use so many energy cells so early. Oh, look at all these goo piles, though. Amazing. Alright, so over here, you always have some folks in here. Turn my light on. They have a duffel bag. The duffel bag has some wonderful things in it. They generally have some stuff on them as well. Some gear that isn't terrible, but I like leather armor better. An extra laser pistol, which sounds like, didn't you just get a laser pistol? I did, but I can do this. Repairs Y. And now my terrible laser pistol is even more viable. I believe if you, come over here, there's another guy, and he has a recharger rifle. And these things are awesome early on. Especially if you're trying to play on a hard mode difficulty, because they don't take any ammo. As you can see in the bottom corner, my ammo is ticking up to 7. I get 7 shots, and it recharges a few times every second. And then there are some mods you can throw on it. So this really can become a viable weapon early game. Doesn't do enough damage to last late game, but if you want to avoid having to dump a whole bunch of time and energy into getting ammo, it's a nice way to go. Let me just look really quick. What am I at for experience here? Halfway? Okay. I just want that scotch more to be able to show off more options. There we go. So there's our character. I always enjoyed this game. I enjoyed even more with mods because it just feels very natural. And going through this area on my most recent vacation reinforced it because this is sort of how driving through this area feels. You know, we drove through the middle of the desert, and it was really quite fascinating how vacant everything was. You know, you drive through an old country back road, and you say, wow, this feels like the middle of nowhere. Driving through the desert in between two major American cities, it's another world entirely. When you feel alone, it's because you are as alone as you can ever imagine. You're who I believe I want to speak to.
Hello? Can you help me?
Of course I can help you. What's wrong?
The girl is trapped by geckos on the ridge, and I can't get to her. Please, she's going to die.
Where is she?
Go up the path, past the broken radio tower, and go to the right. They're at the top of the trail.
I'll see what I can do.
You will? Thank you for helping me. Please hurry.
I do wish I had a shotgun. I do want to pivot over to shotgun as quickly as humanly possible. Single shotgun, I think, will be our first shotgun, and I've always had good luck with that until damage threshold rises. Alright, so where are we going? There's the broken radio tower. So let's head up here, and then we gotta get up this ridge. This is a fun event. The guy's there, he's, begging you for help. His fiance or girlfriend is on top of the ridge. And if you're playing the Knight in Shining Armor. Ooh, there's a stutter. And there we go. If you're playing the Knight in Shining Armor role, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to help this poor man. So you run up this hill, you fight some geckos. Geckos are not nothing. I mean, they're not, incredibly tanky or incredibly difficult. And with just the right amount of with the right amount of planning, it's very simple. Got him! Who sees me? I had 2 red pips, and then they went away. Where are they? Alright, so they're right around that corner. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any dynamite yet. I do not. That's unfortunate, because this would be a good time to use explosives. Just drop it right by that tree. Oh, there's one of them. And this is why I didn't want to use energy weapons. Energy weapons are OP as anything in this game. Like, you get a Gauss rifle, and like you're set for basically the game. And there are some ways to get some high-level weapons pretty early in this game. Ooh, that's a stutter. Ooh, some mod is not happy with what I'm doing. Oh, that's an angry stutter. Oh, there's some texture here that's really unhappy. There we go. So yeah, one thing within this game that it had over 3 is the survival feature. That's why I'm picking up all these various roots and whatnot. The roots and the meats, because we're going to run through, get a campfire, and we're going to do some bushcrafting with the roots and these flowers up here to make some healing powder. It's a good... Oh, that's a lot more than I remember. Alright. We're going to do a pivot over to laser pistol to burn some ammo. Alright, wow, it's so angry. Oh. Alright, as you can see at the top, I just got a few steps towards energetic, which is a bonus. This game had a nice little feature in that if you did things, you got additional experience. So not only could I kill things or pick locks or complete random tasks to level up, but the repetition of those tasks would get me bonus points. So if I stick with using a laser rifle for a long period of time, I'm going to get even more points. And here we are at level 2. Alright, at level 2, I would like to put some points into 2 things. I'm actually going to put it in 30 into barter. And I'm going to put 4 into speech. And I think I can get it to where I want to be. Alright, here we go. So here are the perks that I'm allowed this early on. So let's look through. Junk rounds. Crafting junk rounds from scrap metal and tin. That's a really nice feature. Requires luck 6 and repair 45, so it's kind of a weird mix. Light armor bonus. We're going to be using heavy armor. Black Widow. 10% against male opponents and access to unique dialogue. We might grab that. Bonsai. This must be one of the other ones. Through careful nurturing, you have a small fruit tree growing out of your head. Interactions with female characters. This one is less interesting because you fight more male characters, which makes Black Widow more enticing. Heave ho. All thrown weapons fly further, which is nice for grenades. Intense training allows you to dump a point with a special. Rapid reload. That's pretty self-explanatory. Retention gives you a bonus when you use a skill magazine. Swift learner. 10% experience whenever they're earned. And more damage with unarmored melee. Let's do Black Widow. I don't generally play as a female character, so all these options are going to be completely new to me, and I'm excited for that. Alright. So, now we come up here. And we come to the top, and we're going to look for his girl, right? What do we got? We got some bones. It's clearly not his girl. We got a desiccated body. Also, pretty old. We're going to disarm some bear traps really quick, because we don't want to step in them. A leather armor. That's a nice thing. We got a dead prospector. He's got a melee plus guns outfit, which isn't bad, but not what we need. And a 10mm. That's a nice thing to have. And a camera, which is just an interesting bit of storytelling, because obviously this guy would come up here and perhaps sleep up here and take pictures of this, which is beautiful. It really is. Especially with that texture pack. Oh boy. There's also a fridge. And the fridge has various healing items, which is super nice. Some of those I'll use and some of them I'll sell. Well, I don't see any girl up here, so let's head back down and find out what happened. Before that, let's, for the purposes of keeping ourselves light, collapse that leather armor.
Sorry I tricked you, but thanks for clearing out the geckos. Now I can get to that stash up there, after I deal with you.
Oh, that stutter. Is it going to 0% me on bats? There we go. So again, I'm just trying to burn through this laser ammo because I don't want to necessarily dump too much of the good ammo that I'm going to use for the rest of the game. Doctor Fatigue for plus medicine. That's a nice one to have early. I don't think I'll leave that though. So yeah, a nice bit of creative storytelling there. It's basically telling you that, listen, despite the fact that these guys are out here and they might ask for help, you're not necessarily going to get a good outcome by agreeing to help everybody. Which is an interesting little bit of storytelling on behalf of the game, because generally when someone asks you for help, and think Fallout 4, you go and help them and there's not necessarily a bad outcome. Perhaps an unforeseen circumstance arises, but, you know, they don't generally immediately turn around and stab you in the back. So let's show off some crafting before we head into town and start the next part. So, this is a crafting which you can do at a lot of different places. As you can see, it's pretty heavy. There's a lot going on. There's aid, there's chems, there's food. Food is generally a meat item plus something else. There's a lot in here from the things as well, from the DLCs. You can see a lot of this is survival locked, so although I can make a gecko kebab, I need 60 survival. Realistically, I'll never have 60 survival. But I will take that healing powder because I'm here and it's free. So now that I think we have enough to do the things that I want to do, we're going to head back up to town and kick off the next part of this. This is going to be a very long first episode. I used to, I think, generally do more long first episodes. So this will be in line with that, but I guess I could fast travel. Yeah, it's pretty. We'll save fast traveling for when we're trying to get from here to New Vegas. You see in the distance, you got Primm right there. You got some stuff going on over there. You can see some various towers. Just generally very pretty. While I'm here, though, let's also, I guess, get some healing going. And see, HP comes back somewhat slowly. Stim packs are an instantaneous thing because I'm not in hard mode. If we had gone with hard mode, we would be healing over time. So this is a super interesting quest we're about to embark on, because it puts you really early on into options. So here's Goodsprings. The Prospector Saloon, and the Goodsprings General Store. We got a water tank there, and I got some textures that don't appear to have loaded in, that I thought were there before, which is interesting. Game always baffles me at what works and what doesn't.
I'm done being nice. If you don't hand Ringo over soon, I'm going to get my friends and we're burning this town to the ground. Got it?
We'll keep that in mind. Now, if you're not gonna buy something, get out.
Go ahead, try me.
Are you stuck? Are you not going to leave?
Well, you've been causing quite a stir. Glad I finally got to meet you. Welcome to the Prospector Saloon.
Alright, so this is the Prospector Saloon. This is Trudy. We're going to come back here a lot because she can buy things. What was that argument about?
Looks like our little town got itself dragged into the middle of something we don't want anything to do with. About a week ago, this trader, Ringo, comes into town. Survivor of an attack, he says. Bad men after him. Needs a place to hide. We figured he was just in shock, so we gave him a place to lie low. We didn't actually expect anyone to come after him.
Well, seeing as it's almost what happened to me, I definitely want to help this Ringo character. What are you going to do about
Some
this?
of the others, like Sonny, will probably stand up for Ringo if he asks for help, which he hasn't. Personally, I hope he sneaks out of town one night and takes the powder gangers with him.
Why not just kill this fella and get it over with?
You mean murder him? That's not our way. Even if Cobb is scum, he can bluster and threaten all he wants.
Why, a murder might be my way. Let's talk about something else. What happens if I help
If you were
him?
able to get Ringo out of this mess, you'd have a decent reputation around Goodsprings. I'd even set you up with a discount.
Ah,
Plus,
a discount,
helping
you
Ringo would
say?
also make the powder gangers mad, and they've got a lot of friends out there.
But they don't. That's some bluster. What about the guys who
Not
attacked me?
much, other than they're a bunch of freeloaders who expected a few rounds on the house. I was able to get them to pay up, though. Of course, one of the great cons did knock my radio to the floor by accident, and it hasn't been working since.
Alright, so super interesting thing. Where'd they
They were
go?
having some kind of argument about it, but the guy in the checkered coat kept shushing them. Sounded like they came in from the north through Quarry Junction. If that's the case, I can't say I blame them for not wanting to go back.
Why is that?
That whole area is overrun with the kind of critters that just get mad if you shoot them. Merchants avoid that whole stretch of I-15 like it's radioactive, which it could be for all I know.
So where are they
I
heading?
didn't hear exactly, but the leader was talking about the strip.
Okay.
Fellow wants to get there and avoid the 15, he'd have to go east. Take Highway 93 up.
Gotcha. So, she talked about a radio a second ago, and just an interesting little thing you can do. Can I do it without talking to her about it? I might have to talk to her about it.
Feeling thirsty? I can...
You want to take a look at that broken radio?
Sure. The outside looks okay, but I think something broke on the inside. There'd be caps in it for you. I do like to hear what's going on in the world. And that Mr. New Vegas seems like such a gentleman.
Alright, let's take a look at this radio. So, with repair of 20, you can just repair the radio. And it's just a free dump of
Feeling
XP.
thirsty? I can take care of that.
I fixed your radio.
Yeah, I heard it turn right back on after
50
you got done
caps.
tinkering with it.
And fame.
Here's some caps for the work.
That's it? Are you implying that I do shoddy work because I have barter of 20?
Not at all. I'm never sure how much is normally charged for this sort of thing. Here's some additional caps. That should be enough.
Yeah,
Now, how
that
about
feels
spending
really
some of
evil.
those caps in the saloon?
I feel really terrible when I coerce people out of money in these games. Like, it's one thing to just, like, hold someone up at gunpoint and take their money. Like, that's obviously evil. But then I feel almost worse when I'm like, I'm going to talk you into giving me more money because, I don't know, you apparently are kind of a rube and don't know how to negotiate. Sell off some of this weighted stuff that I don't necessarily want. These stakes, which I probably won't have the ability to deal with. And this conductor, and these coyote hides, and this... Actually, I want that battery. And we'll see why I want batteries later. Ooh, that was a terrible noise. Thank you, game.
Give me a shout if you need anything
Alright.
else.
Let's go find Ringo. Can we actually talk to you about Ringo?
Hi there. Sticking around Goodsprings for a while longer?
Apparently I need to talk to Ringo first. That's fine. So normally, if you do this first thing without taking a single level up, you're not going to be able to do all of the speech options you have available. I'm going to struggle with a few of them, but they're ones that you likely have seen before. I probably won't struggle with medicine. Speech is going to be the one I struggle with the most. And I think if I put a vault suit on and do a mentat... Do I have any mentats on me? I don't. Doc Mitchell, do you have mentats? I believe if I do mentats, I will be all set. Did I ever use the chemistry set? Oh, did it just freeze on me? You know, it's funny when you're so accepting of the fact that the game is going to crash that you no longer even get mad about it. Make me some drugs, thank you. And did I fix this yet? I didn't. Repair that, thank you. I'll come talk to you in a sec. I believe I should be able to do something I don't ordinarily do. And that is get the help of everybody in town. And I am super excited for that because I play this game a lot and I just generally never wait. I just run right into it.
That's close enough. Who are you and what do you want with me?
I'm not your enemy, if that's what you're asking. But if you're gonna shoot, you better not miss.
Sorry about the gun. You just caught me off guard, that's all. We got off to a bad start. Let's say we start over with a
I will never play that game. That game is awful. Joe Cobb's looking for you.
He doesn't look very tough, though. I hear he's afraid I'll shoot him down from one of the windows when I see him. And he's right. I'll have a much bigger problem once his friends show up. There's no way I could handle all of them in a gunfight.
Well, if you use VATS, you should be okay. What are they trying to get out of you?
My caravan was on the return trip from California and heading back to the company branch in New Vegas when we got jumped. Not even a drop your weapons and hands up before the bullets started flying. We put up a good fight, but there was too many of them. I took a few of the bandits down before I ran, so I figure their friends are out for revenge.
What are we gonna do about them?
I'll lay low for as long as I can, assuming the town doesn't throw me to the wolves. I've got no chance against the gang on my own.
How about we help?
We just end up sharing the same grave if it's just the two of us. Now, if some of the other people in town were also...
See, I don't know about that. I'll ask around, but I'm pretty sure we got this. We can start with Sunny Smiles? Yeah, sure. I think we got this. Doctor's bag. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I don't want to run out before we're going through. Fission battery. Whiskey. Purified water. That's a nice one. Milsurp review. That's a nice one. Floor safe easy. So he's unhappy if you steal his ammo, but he's more than happy to let you just steal his cigarettes. All right, I'll come back here later. It's fine. Oh, apparently this mod makes nights very night. Okay. I'll bite. Yeah, apparently we're gonna need to do some waiting once in a while because, oof, night.
Hello there. It's good to see a friendly face. I almost took you for a raid.
Wow, I've never had this event happen in Goodsprings.
Malcolm Holmes.
Okay.
Suppose you care to trade. I'm missing a few essentials and, screw this. Lying just ain't in my nature. I'll tell it to you straight. I've been following you for a good bit now.
I literally only need to hear that. Don't follow me.
You're a dangerous sort.
I was just recently been shot in the head. I don't need you.
Find useful, which made me follow you for a spell. It started off innocently enough. I was traveling, as I often do, and happened to observe you picking up one of those blue star caps. You didn't show any reaction to it, so I figured you didn't know what you'd gotten your hands on.
This is getting creepy. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. By the way, I'm going to shoot you in the back.
Just do me a favor. If you find more of those things and plan on keeping them, watch out for a man named Alan Marks. He's killed more than a few people to collect as many of those caps as he can.
These caps are interesting. They're a huge side quest.
They are won't protect you. Whoa!
And that might seem evil. I don't think it's tremendously evil because he has 6-star bottle caps on him and a barter outfit. The reason I like the barter outfit is, you'll see in a sec, I'm able to put it on when I go to do transactions or do barter skill checks, and it tremendously helps. The extra 10 points is basically insane. Because how many people actually invest in barter in these games, honestly? So now I'm the good bartering Barry here to barter with you. Where are you?
You looking to buy some supplies?
Alright, let's take a look now. So, dynamite was way more expensive before. A couple of points and it's down. It's a big deal. Not now, but as I start to buy more expensive things and buy them more often, it'll become a big deal. We're actually going to buy some of that dynamite because I'd like to have it for this next section. And in return, I'm going to sell some of these 9mm I will keep the 10. I'll sell the 357, and I'll sell the varmint. I will keep most of what else I have on me, but I'll dump off some of these randoms.
Pleasure doing business.
I'm not saying this is the best plan, but as I said, I want to use explosives more in this run, and I'm gonna have to do some weird things that I wouldn't ordinarily do to make that happen. Where are you, Sonny? All right, game. Thank you for show location. Apparently, Sonny is down here somewhere. There's the bighorners. Oh, this is one of the ones where you can go in the house and see her. Get this individual right here doing some farming. Hello.
Hey there.
Yeah, if memory serves, I think this is her home. Holy missing textures.
Feeling thirsty?
Oh, that's Trudy. Where, oh where is Sonny?
Hey.
And another crash, probably due to those missing textures.
Hey.
There we go. So, interesting little side note, Sonny and Trudy share the same house. It was one of the things I wanted to show off. Hey, Sonny.
Hi there. Sticking around Goodsprings for a while longer?
I'm going to need your help if we're going to take out these powder gangers.
Say no more. I'm in.
Well, that was easy.
Joe Cobb talks about leaving us alone if we hand over Ringo. But I know his type. He and his friends will come after the town eventually. However, between you, me, and Ringo, we aren't exactly a force to be reckoned with. A lot of people around here look up to Trudy.
Okay.
If you could convince Trudy to join us, some of the folks in town might decide to help out as well.
Alright, gotcha.
Pete's got a stock of dynamite somewhere, and Chet just got a shipment of leather armor we could borrow. Talk to them as well. Finally, there's a good chance we'll all end up with extra holes in us. So if Doc Mitchell could cough up some extra stim packs, that'd be great.
Alright, I don't need any advice because I know what to do. Okay, so Trudy responds to charisma. I can fix charisma. If I do a mentats, and if I drink a whiskey.
So you're planning on taking on Joe Cobb's gang. It's a big risk, but I suppose you have to do what you think is right.
You should help me take down the powder gang. There's going to be bullets and explosion, and that should be lots of fun.
I was planning on sitting this one out, but for some reason, I can't help but like you. I'm with you.
Yay!
Let me have a word with a few other folks, and I'll see if I can't round up some more members for this militia you're creating. While everyone does own a gun, we could stand to be a little better equipped. The general store probably has what we need in stock.
Alright. So on that, we did drugs, and we're rewarded for it, which is, you know, probably the best thing the game can teach us. Okay, so that was Trudy. Our next stop is going to be Easy Pete, who's walking from his house. Hey, bud. You want to give me some explosives?
Howdy.
I need explosives.
Too dangerous. Gonna kill all yourselves if I let you touch it. Better to leave it buried.
I'm familiar with the care and handling of explosives, including dynamite.
Uh-huh. Guess you know what you're doing.
Sure, yeah.
I'll go dig it up and get it ready. You'll have it by the time the fighting starts.
I never get the dynamite, because I never have explosives. I don't even know how ridiculous this is going to be, but I am really hopeful that this is going to be insane. Alright. So, by the way, I'm still dressed in my, my roaming trader gear. So my barter's 44.
You looking to buy some supplies?
Yes, I am, but I also need to get some supplies.
Hold on. I never voted to take on the powder gangers. That's a 1,000 cap investment you're talking about.
So, fun little thing. I'm going to use barter to basically convince him that if they take over the town, you're going to get shot in the head and they're going to take your business. But if you had 1,000 caps, you could just be like, here's 1,000 caps, man. Go away.
You made your point. I can provide people with some leather armor and extra ammo. Sure hope it's worth it. And I'll be guarding the store while all this is going on. I have to put my business first. You understand.
Absolutely. You can cower in here, and I will not hate you at all for that. And let's see, can I get the trifecta? I don't think I'll be able to get the second tier, because there's 2 tiers on this one. You can get, like, some gear from him, and then more gear if your intelligence is higher. But I, unfortunately, had to do... Actually, do I have a medicine? Like a medical journal? I don't believe I do. I should have probably taken that guy's +5 armor, but I still don't think it would have been enough. So we'll take the, I think it's 25 skill check medicine. But we won't get the doctor's bags. That's okay. I assume that everyone's seen that before if they played this game. Oh, you're stuck. Let me just take that. Thank you.
Welcome back. I had hoped you wouldn't need to come see me again so soon. What can I do for you?
Well, Doc, the town is going to be attacked by bandits, and I need drugs.
Seems like wherever I go, it's always the same. Folks just never leave each other alone. Oh, I'm not much good in a fight with my bum leg. And my supplies are scarce, but I'll give you what I can spare.
There's going to be... Oh, sweet, I can. They're going to be using explosives. Do you have any, like, you know, morphine you can give me?
I ain't got much, but it'll do you more good out there than it will in here. Take what I got.
So, super interesting thing. Doc Mitchell, probably the most interesting character in this game. And we know nothing about him. I wish there was a Doc Mitchell DLC. I would be so into that. Alright. On that note, we gotta return to Ringo. And that will kick off the events of this quest. Ghost Town Gunfight. We are gonna knock out the powder gangers. We're pretty much committed to that at this point, and we're gonna have a ton of help. We're going to be throwing some explosives. I got some laser weapons. Pew pew. It's going to be great. But that's it for this episode, because this one is going to be a long one. Thank you so much for watching. In the next episode, I'm going to need some ideas of what to do next. The 2 options that I can really think of is, are we going to go straight down to Primm, or are we going to go to the former NCR Jail and perhaps talk to the powder gangers? Drop a comment in the section below, and I'll also post a comment to Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, have a great night.